Jameson Williams, receiver, who's actually been a bright spot for the Detroit Lions coming out to the tune, and I think he was a little ahead of what a lot of people thought. Well, today he got some news. Wide receiver Jameson Williams is facing a 2-game suspension for violating the performance-enhancing substance policy. Jameson is disappointed with the current suspension, but he says no choice but to take it on the chin. I'm in good spirits, just ready to get back out there with my brothers ASAP as soon as possible, Williams told ESPN. So I heard you already make a comment, and so now I'll let you start off where you think about the situation. James Williams.
Is this a 100% surprise out of the blue for you?
I'll let you go first because I have a thought on it.
Just answer that and then I'll take it over.
To be honest, yes.
Okay, so because to me it's not.
I know you're going with the pattern.
Seeing one, and not to say, I mean, realistically, this could have been something a trainer gave him. Who knows what it is?
I doubt it.
Some he thought was legal and it turned out not.
But the thing is this guy, I love this guy, but you look at him taking pictures of eating shakes on top of burgers when he's not with the team and he's supposed to be trained. This guy has a history of bad judgment calls.
So eating shakes and burgers is something you mentioned.
But when you're not with the team and you're supposed to be in top shape, you just don't post that. And I'm not indicting him to be a bad man. I love him. I think that he's all in on the team. I think he loves the city. But when you're going out to 6 Mile at midnight to hit up the Coney Island, it's probably not where you should be.
Sounds delicious to me.
Who cares?
Listen, you can say who you care all you want. The fact of the matter is we lost this guy for 2 games because of his ability to make good judgment decisions. Now, I don't think he's a bad kid, but I do think that he is one of those guys that doesn't have the greatest support around him, and it allows him to make mistakes like this. So to me, it seemed like this was behind us, but if there was one guy that you said in the next month is going to get suspended on this team, he would have been on my short list. And I don't want to denigrate J-Mo because he's saying and doing all the right things, but this is a second suspension, period.
Can I go?
I'll let you go.
Okay.
I'll save it.
We not trading them, ass.
I'm not going to start with that yet, but I will mention it.
I don't feel like I got to battle J-Mo on all fronts. So, like, if you're gonna start talking about the trade, then let me answer what Anson said.
Please answer. I'm not gonna start with the trade yet. I'm not gonna answer.
And then I can answer you.
I'm just throwing something out there.
I know, but I'm gonna be fighting on 2 fronts, is what I'm saying. So let me fight on this front.
Get him, ass.
Talk some sense into him, bro.
I'm very relaxed in this matter. This is what I think about that. What somebody eats and where they eat it at has no bearing on what type of player and teammate they are. So I believe how you started to where you got, I don't think they coexist. I get your uneasiness about this being a pattern. J-Mo's been suspended before for letting the team down. So when you say that, you're absolutely validated. I agree with that. Now, where he eats and what he eats, I ate Taco Bell the whole time I played in the NFL. And sometimes I was going at 12.
Would you take that back?
I just would have started eating healthier earlier, but I still enjoy occasional Taco Bell. That didn't make me a bad teammate. That didn't make me be the one that was susceptible to getting in trouble in the suspension. Now, with that being said, what you put in your own body is it's on you, regardless, because there are situations where I've heard cats, and I've been on teams with cats who got in trouble for taking penis pills or sexual pills or things
performance enhancing pills. I believe is the term.
Listen, it's an enhancer. You don't test for street drugs during the season, so there's no marijuana, whatever, cocaine, anything wouldn't test during the season. It's only performance enhancing. The type of chemicals they make up in these performance enhancers, they're the same throughout. So whether it's sexual performance enhancing, whether it's muscle building, whatever, it's still the same type of chemicals that go into it. The list changes, Anson, year by year. It goes from when I was in league, it was like 2 pages. Then the next year is 3 pages.
I bet.
Now the page is longer and longer and longer. So you may just think you're going to the gas station, you're about to give her the time of her life and the night of her life. Meanwhile, this is going to cost you 2 games. I'm not saying that's exactly what it is, but it can be as stupid and as simple as that. I think J-Mo, from his last time being in trouble to what it was last season, to that training camp when it started, nothing but positive things.
Oh, yes.
From the team, from Dan Campbell, from his coaches, from his players. Even this year, who was the most improved player? Who was the guy that they talked about? You see him on the football field. He hasn't been corrected on where to go and wrong alignment, etc. I think he's come way far.
Oh, yes. And I don't want to take that away from him.
I think this is an honest mistake. And I think his comment, I'm going to have to take this on the chin. I even think that shows growth.
Thank you.
Well, so first and foremost, I live on 7 Mile. When I saw him, that's one of my conies that he goes to.
7 Mile.
I love seeing him in that area. I
drive.
love seeing him embrace the culture and the area and even the hardest parts of our city. But I want to bring up something that you told me early on in your relationship that you're in right now. Shout out to B. Britt has got this man as in the best boyfriend form I've ever seen you, and I've known you a long time, my friend.
Appreciate you.
And one of the things that you said early on in your relationship with her was that you take yourself out of situations that you can make a mistake. And, you know, when you're in your 20s and you got a keeper, but you still like going out and you like going to 8 Mile and you like doing this stuff, you don't go out with the intentions of making mistakes, but you're in a position and surrounded with things that can end up becoming a mistake. So for me, I don't think that going to 6 Mile at midnight is this terrible thing. I don't think that sharing these photos of stuff. All I'm saying is that he has still not figured out how to take himself out of the things that he enjoys and putting himself 100% surrounded by the things that will lift him up and keep him from being around a possible mistake.
And that's actually positive. And Maz, I want you to come in on it after this comment. That's actually real, because when I was playing the whole time, I had my uncle who lived with me. Obviously, my uncle's my mom's brother. He would stay with me. He was the house manager. My uncle was able to kind of keep an eye, if you will. My 2 managers I had was my best friend Hayes Grooms, graduated from University of Michigan, and then once he went on to bigger things, I had another one of my friends, 100%, Larnell Collier. Shout out to L. Just had his first baby a month ago, but I had those people to kind of like be that person. All right, cool. Look, it is late. You know, let's turn it in. All right, bet we've partied too hard, or etc. Or Uncle Walter was able just to realize the foolishness that he may have seen. So maybe he does need that person, man. Maybe he does need somebody to come up from, you know, where's he from again? It's not Florida.
I can't remember.
Come from wherever he's come up and be a part of the team. Maz, what do you think?
I just think he's just a young kid.
Okay.
And
St. Louis.
I can't pass a judgment on him without knowing what the hell he did. So if what he did, what you said, Bray, put something in his system that he really had no idea about.
Like, he runs 4.2. He's not taking performance in
exactly.
You don't need him at 4.2.
Man.
I doubt he's doing anything for that. He's not he's a string bean still. I mean, come on. You could see the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's a dumb thing that the NFL has on their paperwork, like you said. Each year they're adding more papers and more stuff that you can't put in your body. I'm sure we'll find out about it soon. It looks like to me that they kind of knew about it on Sunday, and that's why you really didn't see much about him on Sunday. That's my take on it. I know he was out there and he threw a block there on Amon-Ra St. Brown's touchdown, but you didn't see him catch. What did he have? Did he have one catch?
One catch for negative 4 yards.
Yeah. One catch.
Because they were trying to see how are we going to look moving forward. You're absolutely
Correct.
right about that, man.
They took him out of that game, basically. They played without J-Mo in that game. You could tell. And Dan Campbell went on today with the flagship, and he said, look, I can't talk about it yet because they haven't made it official yet. Once the NFL makes it official, then they could. The proof's in the pudding, man. The kid, he made a dumb mistake. Whatever it is, he made a dumb mistake.
Pete?
I disagree. I don't think he made a dumb... I don't know if he made a dumb mistake. That's because we don't know if he took a drug, or we're forgetting what happened to Jimmy Garoppolo when he had a... Now, I want to be careful here because the NFL has so many different rules for so many different drugs. Jimmy Garoppolo was suspended 2 games for PED, where J-Mo is being suspended for PES. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo's suspension was due to the fact he did not file paperwork in time for his massage therapy. Could this be the same case that we're going through for J-Mo? Did J-Mo get something from a doctor that he was supposed to report for like pain or something like that he forgot to report? I think that we're talking about stuff that we don't even know what we're talking about yet until we find out what exactly comes down from the NFL. And we need to be very, very careful here before we start throwing spears at J-Mo, because J-Mo has been nothing but help to this offense and to this Lions team. And I understand his past and all that stuff, but you're going to have to be extremely cautious and extremely careful before you start throwing stones at glass houses. We don't know exactly yet what has happened here. Maybe he just didn't file paperwork, guys. I think we need to calm down.
Well, from what I'm hearing, that is exactly it. I'm hearing that it's Adderall and that he has a prescription and that he did not file it with the league. Is from what I'm hearing.
Okay.
But come on, that's a mistake.
That's a mistake.
No,
that doesn't make him a bad person.
I'm not. At no point did I call him a bad person.
I'm not saying,
and I don't think anybody.
I'm saying in case somebody else is.
But the thing is this is a mistake that should have never happened, because he needs somebody like your uncle around him to be like, do you have this taken care of? Where are you going tonight? Because the kid's a kid, and he has shown and said and done all the right things for this team, but he's not available for 2 weeks because he doesn't have somebody there next to him saying, hey, file your damn prescription with the NFL.
Yeah,
that doesn't make you a bad guy.
And subscription. And Anson, I know you mean this in the best possible light, so this is no attack on you or anything. I just get tired of why this always has to become an attack on his character. Because to your point, I do understand what you're saying, but I don't think he has not the right people around him. He got to the NFL for a reason. He stayed in the NFL for a reason, and we do know he hasn't been perfect along the way. I mean, the gambling thing, you can say what you want about that, but the NFL changed the rule and shortened his suspension. So, and yes, you would like to stop hearing about these things with him, being in the headlines for being suspended, but it's 2 games. If the NFL thought it was something way more worse, you already know they would have slapped the 6 games on him, and then we really be wondering what the hell happened. I just get tired of this thing like, he's hanging at the Coney and doing all this stuff. Like, that is not,
that doesn't make you a bad person. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying though is that doesn't make him a bad person. In fact, I like him more because I saw him on 6 Mile. When I saw RFK Jr. come in with 42 Doug and hang out on 6 Mile.
I get that.
I'm an RFK fan.
We're talking about Pete. That shouldn't even come up in conversation.
But I got a parking ticket right out here 2 years ago, which I have not paid.
Yeah,
that does not make me a bad person.
Not at all.
But if I had a girlfriend in my life that was like, baby, you got to take care of this, I wouldn't have that thing probably running $250 when I could have paid it for $40. Doesn't make him a bad guy. Posting these pictures, taking pictures and posting them doesn't make you a bad guy.
Yeah.
What I'm saying though is, as at 22 years old, this guy is maybe not making the best decisions because he's a kid.
But his mistakes are magnified because he's on the big stage. That's all I'm saying.
And because they're multiple.
Yeah, and I get that. I just get tired of it. And it's not you, but just people in general, in terms of Lions fans, always pointing to, he was taking pictures with fireworks. He got suspended for gambling.
But like, why are you lighting off fireworks in your hands? Because like a receiver doesn't need your hands, right? And the thing is if you're going to be playing around like that, just don't post it.
I understand.
And that is when you have the smart support around you, where they're just like, hey, no, maybe don't.
But you can tell him that, and he not listen anyway. Like I said, I don't think it's from the people around him. I just think this was a honest mistake.
Let me get my Mills Lane on for a second. Let me break.
Right. Clean break.
We have to pay some bills. We can put a pin in for now.